What is your advice for getting involved with research?
So my first piece of advice is talk to your professors, talk to your classmates, talk to anybody that will listen and tell them you want to research. The lab that I left to come do this Zoom is a professor that I had in a class. I waited until it was the end of Zoom. We were early, and I asked her, how do I get involved in this? It's an infectious disease and aquatic life. How do I get involved in this? I really like it. So that was, I don't know, maybe March or April. He emailed me in August, was like, hey, are you still interested in doing this? My lab is going to run one more experiment. Dr. Carolyn Friedman found this disease. She's named it. She's the one that knows everything about withering syndrome. And I am learning from her, the woman who created this entire system. Well, she didn't create the disease. Um, how to even manipulate this and make this work. Like, it's an amazing opportunity, all because I waited 5 minutes after class to talk to her about something I thought was really cool. So, I mean, shout it from the rooftops if you have to.
Oh, I think I'll add for that. There is a really great class that UW offers, and I'm hoping I'm getting this course code right. It's called Gen ST 391 or something like that, but it's essentially undergraduate research for transfer students. And it's a 2 credit course, pass, no pass. And it's an entire staff of people that are literally will talk to you about things like imposter syndrome and how to write a letter to a professor and how to reach out to a research lab, how to search the UW database for research. Like you, so you really, if you come to the university and you really don't feel like you know how to get started or where to get started, I highly recommend that class because I took that class my first quarter here. And I kind of like, because you have like all the prompts and you kind of have it to lean on. You can kind of like, well, I'm doing this for my class, so I'm reaching out to you for this reason. But then you can also, through that networking, find a lab that works. And I was really lucky that I happened to stumble upon a lab that literally was brand new. The PhD or the PI had just relocated from Mount Sinai here to the University of Washington and was opening a lab on neuro research, looking into the mechanisms of PTSD. And I got to experience like literally what it's like to start up a lab from scratch. So that was like super exciting. And I'm actually still with the lab. I'm actually here in the lab right now. So that's been my entire experience. And it's all thanks to that little 2 credit course. So I highly recommend it. Look it up, do it your first quarter, get hooked up with research with the help of all those wonderful staff that work with that program.
Like Chris and Anita mentioned, it's going to be a lot about networking and who you know. If you just know the right people, they're going to be providing you those opportunities to get involved in research, whether it's going to be staying after school or just directly like emailing a professor or somebody you're interested in. And it's not necessarily like, oh, you're doing research, I want to be inside like your lab doing research with you. It's just, I have an interest in your field. Can I learn more about your field? They can talk to you about it. They can connect you with other people's, and they'll just have you in mind when opportunities arise. And I think the other biggest way of getting involved in research is just doing research programs, whether it be the study abroad me and Isaiah did, where we got to do oceanography programs, or there's this one program with the Health Science Center called the Stipends for Teaching Aspiring Researchers. It's just when you do biomedical research over the summer. It's like a 10-week internship. And you just apply to those online. So I think those two are like the main ways of getting involved in research in a university setting.
I had a different way that I got into research, so it's kind of cool to see your other ways for it. I knew I wanted to do research this whole time, and so I went to when we were getting orientation. I think they talked about academic success coaching, and that's a free service that is offered. So I went ahead and made an appointment with an academic success coach, and I asked him about how I could get into research because, like I said, I transferred during the pandemic. Everything was online. I didn't know if I could get research. So he gave me a lot of advice and said, find every person's lab that you're interested in, read about their lab, and send them an email. So I sent, I think, like 20 emails, and I actually got a research lab for my first quarter at UW during the pandemic for an online literature review that has now developed into that I'm going to be able to go into the lab, that we've I'm going to get to work on additional projects I was interested in. I got a co-patent on one of the designs that I helped engineer. And yeah, so it was just amazing. And I love research so much. It's so rewarding. So there's a lot of ways that you can get into it. So just hit it from wherever you feel you, and there's going to be just a lot of ways to get there, which is pretty cool.
I have one more potential pathway to add with research, and this is a slightly different form of research, but the UW offers in some majors an independent study course. And so you can get credit for maybe a separate research that you're doing that's related to your major. So in my experience, I'm able to look at a topic that I'm really interested in, and I had to approach a couple of professors that I've had before, and they have been very gracious to be my mentors. So they kind of oversee my research in a different capacity, but I've had been able to be kind of free in shaping how I want my research to go and what form that takes. So you can also register for a course if you want to go that pathway.